Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Big Debate. We'll start this edition of the Big Debate by sincerely apologizing for not joining you guys yesterday. But again, today we continue our coverage of the ongoing African Cup of Nations taking place in Cameroon. The round of 16 games started last Saturday and ended today. So we'll be talking about the games which took place yesterday and today. But before we start the program, we'll have to make a remark. During the game between and Cameroon and Comoros, an incident happened outside the stadium where we understand officially that 8 people were dead. 8 fans who came to watch the game lost their lives, and 7 or 8 others were injured. We'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Big Debate team, as well as our viewers and fans out there, to express our heartfelt condolences to the families who lost their loved ones. Who also wished those who had injuries. We understand at least 7 to 8 people were injured. We also do wish them a quick recovery, and hopefully lessons have been learned from this incident, and corrective actions will take place so that this kind of an incident doesn't repeat itself in the future. Again, we express our heartfelt condolences. We know they came to enjoy football, but unfortunately things do happen. We hope that they don't happen again in the future. With me today in the studio, now we go to talk football. We're talking about the game that took place yesterday. So that is the round of 16 games, round of 16 matches which took place yesterday and today. So yesterday 2 games take place. So that is the game between Senegal and Cape Verde, which Senegal went on to win 2 goals to 0. And then the second game was between Morocco and Malawi, which was an outstanding game. We will also discuss the games that took place today. We know that that's a lot of information, but we'll try as much as possible to only talk about the relevant. So the games that took place today are the games between Egypt and Ivory Coast, which was a very outstanding fixture, as well as Equatorial Guinea and Mali. So with me today, again, to discuss is my man, Tru3Lion. So good evening, Tru3Lion, and thank you for joining us at a Big Debate again.
Good evening, Dr. T. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to always have you here, and I would like to apologize to you for not being able to have you here yesterday due to circumstances. You do understand. I also take this opportunity to do it again the second time to apologize to our viewers out there. So, Tru3Lion, let's just dive place straight away to talking soccer. So yesterday, the round of 16 matches for the ongoing African Cup of Nations taking place in Cameroon continued. So the first game that took place was the game between Senegal and Cape Verde. Senegal, you had mentioned before the start of this competition in your early preview that they are one of your favorites, but also you mentioned that the surprise of the tournament might be Cape Verde. So you watched the game in the eyes of Tru3Lion. Tell us what you saw.
I was actually disappointed with the Senegalese team, but that comes to no surprise because during the group stages, I realized that their coach is not actually getting the best out of the players. If you see the type of players they have Mane, they have Dieng, they have Koulibaly, Mendy, they have Ghana, they have Gay. So they have a squad full of talent. Then their goalkeeper also, the Mendy.
Yes, Mendy, yeah, is an outstanding keeper, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the way they are playing is actually not convincing. First of all, I saw Cape Verde side their first red card. I want to emphasize on that on the first red card because
Yes, yeah. They got a red card around the 20th minute.
yes, there was a similar foul that happened today. Because this is what's happening, right?
Yes.
Football is a contact sport. So if a player plays the ball and then his foot, because the ball is round, he had his feet on the ball and his foot on the ball, and then
Yes.
the ball eluded him, and then his foot actually, that's when his foot came in contact with the Senegalese player,
Yeah.
and he was given a red card. I cannot understand that. I
I
don't care.
also don't think, yeah, personally, I also don't think
Yes,
that was a red card. If it was a if anything, I don't even think it was a yellow card. Let me be fair. It was a foul, yes, but like a red card, seriously, I don't think it was a red card. But then it seems as if that actually changed the structure of the match, because like what we have noticed in this competition so far is that for all the teams that have got people sent off, it gives them more motivation and changes the entire structure of their play.
No,
Is that what may have deterred Senegal from playing their game?
No, because now Cape Verde was down to 10 men.
Yes.
Automatically, Senegal has the advantage. What they try to do, maybe sometimes, is just a kill time because they know the other team is going to get tired. And eventually, they actually did get tired. But what I'm just trying to say is that these refs should actually use their minds also, because you are given a red card after you see the player total control with the ball, and maybe that ball is round. So after, if you put your foot on the ball, you don't have to control of where your foot is going next.
Yeah.
You know, I saw another issue like this today, but the ref handled it well in the very last game. He didn't give.
So we know, so what you are trying to say, there are fouls which are blatant fouls and there are blatant red cards straight away. But there are some that, like, referees should use the personal judgment. It's a contact sport. You are running. Sometimes it is difficult to control, especially for a ball which is in motion and goes round.
Exactly, and that actually gave Senegal some type of advantage, although it was not actually recognized until then. We also saw that second red card, which for me was a red card, because the goalkeeper came out and took out Mane out. I mean, lights out. Both of them were concussed.
So I'll probably say, so that's another interesting thing that you mentioned before we talk about the football. I'll also talk that, like, it was a 50-50 collision. He didn't take him out. He ran to the ball. Mane didn't get the ball. So all of them, like, they collided.
No. Mane got the ball. Mane got the ball. That's why the ref took his time and looked. Mane got the ball, and then it was a goal scoring opportunity. So the goalkeeper, that's a justified red card, because Mane.
So I agree. So the second one was a justified red card. They all had a concussion. It's unfortunate that incident happened, and we also wish the two players a quicker recovery. We hope Mane is doing fine. I know he went on to play the game. I personally think that shouldn't have happened. But let's talk. What was?
No, yeah. we should actually talk about this, because head injuries are it should be taken very, very serious. The goalkeeper also was confused, and I was surprised that the medical people did not restrain him, because he was confused. He was actually concussed. And
I agree, because I realized that when he stood up, his teammates actually had to hold him down.
But they stopped restraining him because he was there arguing and all that. But he was confused. So we should learn how to protect these players first, because it was a dangerous situation. And I just hope both of them, don't get any type of damage. But letting Mane on the field also was just it was so irresponsible from the ref.
I totally agree with you on that one. Okay, so tell me, what was Senegal not doing right?
It's coaching. You are actually a man. You have a man advantage. Then after, you have two men advantage.
Yes.
And then you are not able to pass with the quality of players you have. You are not able to knock the ball around. And that's all coaching. But again, I applaud Cape Verde, because if Cape Verde actually even had, 11 on 11, it would have been very difficult. But unfortunately for them, they deserved, the red card, the second red card.
The second red card, not the first one.
For me, not the first one. They deserve that second red card, and then everything just went down south. They were not able, and Senegal scored that second goal that actually just took them out of the competition.
Okay, so that game, Mane eventually scored. He was subbed, and then at the dead minute, Senegal scored the second goal. So that game ended by 2-0. So Senegal won 2-0, and then they are progressing to the quarterfinal. So the next game that took place is a game between Morocco and Malawi. That is a game that you enjoyed so much. So tell me about what you enjoyed in the game, the tactics, and how Malawi also impressed you.
This is a game that both teams actually showed purpose, right? And I will actually, because I said I expect now Morocco to go far into this tournament, because they went a goal down, and it was one of the best goals.
Yeah, I'll probably say has been the best goal of the competition. There have been some goal, like the goalkeeper scored against Cameroon, but it was spectacular. But that shot from that distance, from someone running, that is something else.
Yes, of course. And also, it takes a mistake maybe from a player or from someone for the scorer to exploit that mistake. And he took a mistake from the goalkeeper's point because
because the goalkeeper was a few steps ahead in front of goal.
Way out. So that's why what's the player's name? Manga actually struck the ball perfect.
Frank Monga.
Because when he received the ball, and he's a revelation in this tournament, when he received the ball, he was away from what's the right back of Morocco? The right
Hakim.
back.
Hakimi.
Hakimi, they could not actually catch up with him.
Yep.
Then he actually went for goal, and it was a perfectly struck ball.
And it's not as if he was away. He actually made he created the space for himself.
Oh yeah. No, I mean when he received the ball, he was about 2 steps away from Hakimi. Then he actually ran towards the defense and then struck that very good strike that was about 35 meters away and scored the first goal. But then came Morocco. Although Malawi had same player, he also had a second chance.
He had a second opportunity when the game was still 1-0.
Exactly, and his strike actually went wide. However, this is where I admire Morocco. They were patient, they stuck to their game plan, and they were knocking the ball around. I have not seen that apart from Tunisia. Tunisia played like that against Nigeria, but I have not seen any other team play with so much confidence, which means they were disciplined, they stuck to their game plan, and they were knocking the ball around. And they were going through the wings with Hakimi, and they were going also to the left. And that's how their goal actually came. Their goal came at the 45th minute, which means the team was composed and showed objectivity in their game.
Yes.
And that goal was a great header. I cannot because the ball was actually put where the goalkeeper could not come and get it.
And Nesri is an outstanding striker. He's one of those players that we had mentioned that those are players to watch when before the competition started.
Exactly. And then that equalizer came at the right time.
Just before halftime. You want to go to halftime still leading, but then that was just like
it came just before halftime. Then when second half came, you see, and this is where you actually see talent and where you see players that make a difference. Because Hakimi, again, I think he had a free kick in the first half where the goalkeeper pulled a great save.
Yes.
So he was showing that he was going to go. So when that free kick came again,
the second one, the one that he eventually scored. Yeah,
exactly. What a free kick! And that's when you talk to technique. He has a technique, and he came out. He said, "I will carry my team on my shoulders, and I will take Morocco through."
He came with a reputation. He came with a big name, and he is showing it out there.
Exactly. Those are one of those players that said, "Okay, wow, where does he play?"
Yeah. So that game. So that game went on to it ended 2-1. So Malawi actually showed that they didn't come to joke in this competition, but eventually Morocco has progressed to the round of 8. So the next games will be starting on Saturday. So congratulations for those teams. So now the number of teams we started from 24, the number is gradually decreasing to those who matter. And if you are just joining us, you are watching the big debate. So our banners you see in the bottom is in black today because in this edition of the big debate, we are taking an opportunity to express our heartfelt condolences and the best sympathies to the families of the fans who lost their lives 2 days ago in the outside the Japoma Stadium as they went to watch the game between Cameroon and Comoros. We also take this opportunity to wish those who got injured a quicker recovery. And if you're joining us, you are watching the big debate. It's me, your boy, and Tru3Lion. So Tru3Lion, now we'll go to the games of today. So 2 interesting games took place today. I mean, we go to today's game if you don't have unless you have another comment to talk about the games that took place yesterday.
Oh no, we can go forward to today's game.
Okay, so today's games. There were 2 games that took place today. So that's the game between one of the games that I think has been the game of the tournament. So that's a game between Egypt and Ivory Coast. Both teams came with a reputation. Both teams came with some players that we thought would watch, and then I think they showed that they actually came to play the game. And then the second game was a game between Mali and the Cameroon neighbor, little known Equatorial Guinea. So let's start with the game between Ivory Coast and Egypt. What did Tru3Lion see?
Ivory Coast and Egypt, I think both teams played some good football. Both teams actually, I think it was a game of two halves. And when I say a game of two halves, I mean there were certain pockets of time where
Yes,
you
yeah.
saw like
Yeah, because like when I watched the game, when the game started, the first few minutes, let's say 10, 15 minutes, Ivory Coast were actually the team that was playing and creating chances. But eventually, at least in the first half, Egypt actually took over possession and controlled the game eventually.
Yeah, I think about 20 minutes into the game, I saw Mo Salah was drifting from left to the middle and to right, trying to create, opportunities, which actually worked on well. However, in the second half, I think Mo Salah was a little bit lost. His touches were not as good as in the first half. I saw two occasions where the ball was passed on to him and he could not control. Had he actually been able to control, to make those controls, then he would have carried some danger into the Ivory Coast. But
you
also,
also have to give it to the Ivorian defense.
oh yeah, the Ivorian defender. I'm talking about the three shirt, not the defense in
Okay. Yeah,
the
yeah.
Ivorian defender who played on Mo Salah, especially in the second half. It was a one-on-one battle, and he came out big. That one-on-one battle. Yes, also, if you want to talk about the guy who missed the penalty,
Bailey, yeah.
Bailey also had a great match. But
Yeah.
again, I don't understand our African people. Excuse me for saying this. Bailey headed the ball, and because he realized he was injured, right? He was wearing that
Yes.
that black.
Yes.
He headed the ball, and he was in pain.
So this
Why
is what I
let
think.
a
This is
player play?
but this is what I think. I think that was not a head injury. So that can happen with anyone. When you go to head the ball, when you head the ball with your forehead, you don't feel any pain. But that ball, he went to head the ball, but he fell on the middle of his head. That is very painful.
But
So I
bro,
don't
he's
think
wearing
it
he's
was
wearing a
painful, but I
cast.
don't think it was an injury. That's
No,
what I
no, no,
think.
no, 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 no. It was painful because he removed the cast. 2 games before, he missed the Algerian game because he had an injury, a
But
head injury.
was it a head injury?
Yes, and
Okay,
that's
okay.
why he
Yeah,
was wearing the cast.
I knew he was injured, but I wasn't aware whether it was a head injury or
I mean,
okay.
there was no reason. There was no reason him continuing that game. Then he went on to even take a penalty that he missed,
Yeah,
and now
that was
everybody is
unfortunate. Yeah.
on his case. Some of these players have to think about their health, man. For real, some of these players have to think about their health.
Sometimes I don't know. I'm not making excuses, but adrenaline makes people not to think.
No, but then that's why you have a doctor.
Yes, I agree with that. That exactly. So that's why I wasn't making excuses. If the player can't make a decision, someone has to make a decision for the player.
Exactly. I don't know why you let such a player play. If something happens, unfortunately, on the field, then we shall start. Come on now. Our team doctors should be more responsible. I mean,
Yeah.
I was scared for him. I was scared for him.
And so that game, eventually, that game went on to end 0-0. But there were chances and there was football played.
Yes, of course, there was chances. It was not a disappointing game. There was chances. There were chances and football play. But then I also questioned the Ivorian coach, right?
Yeah.
In the sense that when you look at the squad, it's another squad that is very, very talented. But how can you play what's his name? How can you start Zaha from the bench?
Yeah, that happened the last game as well, and they won.
No, but that's it. That's not the point. For me, I want to play the most because Zaha is the most direct. Is one of the most direct players.
I was surprised he didn't start last game. So this is what I think. I was surprised he didn't start last game. So that is the game with Algeria, but he went on to blow Algeria. So I think he thought in his brain that okay, my tactics for the last game worked. I'm going to go with the
Let
same
me tell
team.
you something, right? Let's be
Yeah.
honest. When I watch football, that's why sometimes when I talk with people and they said, "Oh, a team won," it means it was the best team. I say no. Go look at the goals Ivory Coast scored against Algeria. There was bad defending from Algeria. You cannot compare that game Algeria played with the game Egypt actually
I'm not
played.
comparing the game. I'm not telling you what I think. If I have Zaha in my team, he will play, he will start every game. But I'm trying to think from the coach's perspective. Okay, so let's see. He played with he blew Algeria with the team without Zaha starting. So give me one reason why he should not start, why he should change any player from that team.
Okay, I'll give you a reason. Max Gradel is lots older. Max Gradel started ahead of Zaha.
Zaha, yes.
If you put the two players, I'll pick Zaha any day over Max Gradel. Max Gradel can't match the quality. Even if I had to put Pepe on the bench, I'll put Pepe on the bench and I'll play Zaha because Zaha is a better player and
So
he's more direct.
I understand you. You know Zaha well. I know Zaha well. That is what I would think. But like the coach didn't play Zaha last game. He blew up Algeria. He thinks Algeria and Egypt play the same style because they are the same North African team.
No, bro. If I watch Algeria,
yes,
Algeria and Egypt don't have the same style of football.
Okay.
You can say North African, you can say no, but this Algerian team came no purpose. No purpose. So for me, it was not surprising to see Ivory Coast. And if you remember, I said that Ivory Coast 4-1 is overrated.
Yeah.
The 4-1 was overrated. I mean, the coach should be able to see that. But again, the coach makes decisions. And I think that the coach was not good enough for Ivory Coast because look at that Egypt team. Just go watch the game. Okay, let me just say this. Watch Egypt versus Morocco.
Yes, I mean, it's not a matter of watching. I already taken next week off because I want to watch those games. So I'll be watching them anyway.
That's when you know the true level of Egypt. When they play Morocco.
Okay, great. So that's a good point. That's a fair point. And so if Zaha was playing for my team, I would have started Zaha as well. So I do agree with you. I was trying to think from the perspective of the coach. I don't know what he was thinking. He is the coach. He sees them there. So I don't know what he was thinking. I was just trying to think maybe that's why, maybe not.
I can tell you
why. That's it.
Sorry. Let me tell you why. You remember the game against Cameroon, Ivory Coast?
Yes.
Zaha didn't go, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Zaha has a problem with the coach. I was surprised that Zaha actually was called for this game.
But I heard he was suspended. I heard he had a yellow card in the game with Cameroon. He was suspended.
No, it was not about the yellow card.
Okay.
He came out, they talked certain things, and he refused to go. So it was some strenuous. It was something to do with the coach. And I was surprised that he was called now again because Zaha thinks that he's too good to sit on the bench.
But given those issues, he played the first and second game. He started the first and second game. So I really can't. I wouldn't buy that.
Yeah, I mean, he
started the first and second games.
Well, this was one of the toughest games.
Okay, so we are just chatting, so I understand that it's just me trying to, like, I'm not defending the coach. I'm just trying to be. He's not here to defend himself, so someone has to speak for him. So that game went on to end by 0-0 and penalty shootout. Egypt emerged after Bailey missed the penalty. That was one of the games that everyone who took a penalty for Egypt scored, and everyone but Bailey lost. And Bailey is a player that you mentioned that you don't think he should have continued that game because of his head injury. The second game of the day was another cracker as well. I think people had underestimated how much Equatorial Guinea can play. So that's a game the second game was between Equatorial Guinea and Mali. And you and I believe most people out there had mentioned that Mali, Burkina Faso, and Cape Verde were the dark horses. So
yes,
this game between Mali and Equatorial Guinea was a cracker. So tell me, in the eyes of Tru3Lion, what did Tru3Lion see?
Well, actually, both teams had a lot of young talent, very, very good players. I mean, Equatorial Guinea based their game on defense and counterattack. So they had, I think, about 8 on the behind the ball. Then they had 2 men playing, and they were actually very good on the ball. However, Mali played a very good game, even though they lost.
Yes,
they're passing.
They had chances. Was it so that you go ahead before I have a question to ask you, but you just talk about how they played.
Their passes was actually good, but they had problem in the final third, which I have seen with a lot of, if not all, African teams, apart from Cameroon.
And I'm going to bring that guy up later.
Let me tell you this. what I've noticed in this Africa. Although I say lots of teams know how to defend, but the finishing and also the traditional number 9 shirt is dying in Africa, because now if you realize most teams play wingers, strikers, wingers are scoring, but in this tournament the wingers are not actually scoring that, apart from Toko Ekambi, who can also play
and another thing as well is not even the wingers are not scoring, they're not even creating as well.
Exactly. So that's why I have said if Cameroon goes far in this tournament, it will be because of Abubakar. Because Abubakar is only the center forward that is creating opportunities and that is scoring goals.
Yeah, before we end this program today, there's something that I will have to show you so that we'll discuss about Abubakar a little bit. So eventually this game went on again. Mali missed some chances, some like clear-cut chances that they should have won this game at least 3-0, not on possession and how they played, but based on the chances they created.
Yes, it's Mali. They are not clinical enough. They don't have that, maybe Abubakar up front that can score.
They don't have an Abubakar. I get it. Yeah,
exactly, because they are playing good football. They have. You can see intent. You can see what they are trying to do. You can see that they are tactically sound. But also it's because of their youth, because they have very young players.
Yeah, they have a very young squad. Yes,
exactly. So it was good entertaining football on both sides, because Equatorial Guinea also, remember when they organized the Nations Cup and most people said they went that far but it seems as if they have maintained some consistency, and now they are putting on another good show.
I was reading a bit about the team and I realized like some of the players, they started playing for the team in 2015. They have carried on, so they've had this consistency and have been keeping the same team. So these guys have been playing together and they really come to play football.
Exactly. They are actually putting on a good show.
Okay, great Tru3Lion. So this game went on to end by 0-0 as well. No team scored. Mali squandered some chances, I must say that. And they paid eventually at the end of the day when they lost the game.
Yes, of course. I mean, I wouldn't actually, because their finishing was poor. So I would say the right team, the better team actually, because Equatorial Guinea came to defend and counterattack, and they also created some chances. So I would say they are deserved winners.
Okay, so the round of 16 ended today. I know maybe on Friday we'll come back here to talk about the games taking place on Saturday, but I'm just showing this for the viewers out there. This is how the draws for the round of 8, so the quarterfinals look like. Cameroon will be playing Gambia, and then Morocco will play against Egypt. So that is going to be a cracker. That is a game that all of us want to watch. And then in the other game, in the other group, Tunisia will play against Burkina Faso. I think that's going to be another good game. And then the other game will be between Equatorial Guinea and Senegal. I don't want you to talk about those games today, Tru3Lion, because we'll probably organize another edition where we'll talk about the those fixtures. But there is something I want to show you which before we end this program today. This guy, look at the score chart at this moment. So just tell me about this guy. I don't want to call his name. You know his name.
Yeah, I think Mali is out. Mali is out, right?
So Mali is out, and Mali is out.
And Malawi
is also out.
Okay, so the only guy chasing him is Toko Ekambi.
And then for 2 goals, there are a series of this. Not the complete list. The likes of Pepe, Mane, who is still in the competition, is there. Musa Barrow is there as well for Gambia, and then you still have who is there? Okay, Kazri.
Yeah, the way this competition is going, I don't think anyone can catch him, and he can also win player of the tournament depending on how far Cameroon actually goes. However, I think this guy still has some goals in him, and I think he will come up as a top scorer of this tournament. He might score another 2 goals.
Okay, great. So I think he will score many goals. I don't want to say 2. I don't want to limit him because I know this guy can score with every part of his body. He scored with the head. He scored with the with both feet, I think now. And I am looking forward to him scoring with the chest. So the next games will start, the round of 8, so the quarterfinals will start on the January 29th, Saturday, and those are the games on Friday. Myself and Tru3Lion will be back here to discuss the preview of the Saturday games, and I look forward to having you here on Friday. And thank you, Tru3Lion, for joining us and for all your patience. And again, we would like to express our heartfelt condolences and best wishes, heartfelt condolences and deepest sympathies to the families of the fans who lost their lives 2 days ago outside the Japoma Stadium in Yaoundé, and wish those who got injured a quick recovery. And we hope that lessons have been learned and things like this won't repeat themselves. So, Tru3Lion, thank you for joining us today again, and looking forward to having you here on Friday for a preview of the quarterfinals. So that will be the game between Gambia and Cameroon, which will take place in Douala, Burkina Faso, and Tunisia will take place in Garoua. And then on Saturday, we'll talk about the games taking place on Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, for everyone watching out there, thank you for joining us. We wish you a fantastic evening and looking forward to having you back here on Saturday. Good evening, Tru3Lion, and have a pleasant evening.